Once I finally committed to being on YouTube and implemented these steps, I started to see the kind of growth I had not experienced after posting consistently on Instagram for over 3 years. Now, I know followers and subscribers aren't everything, but just to illustrate, after 500 posts on Instagram, this is how many followers I had versus after 87 uploads on YouTube, this is how many subscribers I have as of the time of this recording. So if you are a contentpreneur or a business owner who's relying on social media to increase your audience size or to earn a full-time living, in my opinion, you should be focusing the majority of your efforts right here on YouTube. And here is how I would do it if I were starting a YouTube channel today. First of all, I'm sure you've watched a lot of these videos, and I have to tell you that I do disagree with a common piece of advice a lot of people are sharing on these videos, and that advice is to just do it. Listen, this isn't a Nike commercial. This is your livelihood. This is your business. And you can't just dive headfirst into something without some sort of research, without some sort of forethought. And that is why I take my content strategy clients through this 5 W's exercise. And I have them answer these 5 W's because it helps them figure out a roadmap and at least get their mind right and prepare themselves for embarking on this YouTube journey, because it is a journey and you need a roadmap. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. The first question is who? Who are you creating your content for? It's extremely important that you know who is on the other side of the screen when you create your content, because it really influences how you speak, what you say. If you're creating content for kids, you're probably going to try to have it be flashy so you can hold their attention, or have it be very colorful because kids like colorful things. If you're creating content for engineers, they're going to want to see behind the scenes, underneath the hood. They need to see some code. You need to talk technical speak to them, right? So you need to be clear on who you're creating content for. Next is, what problem is your content going to solve? Now, when you're early on in your YouTube journey and nobody knows who you are, it's going to be very important that you are the solution to somebody's problem. I'll explain more on that later, but make a list of all the frequently asked questions that you've heard, of all the problems people in your audience tend to face, things they are unsure, things that they tend to Google, and position your content to be found when they are looking for those answers. Next, you got to get clear on why you're creating content. As a business owner, as a contentpreneur who's looking to earn a living, I'm sure you have some business goals behind creating YouTube content. Are you trying to grow your audience size? Are you trying to grow your email list? Are you trying to drive sales to a specific product where you're trying to earn $100,000 next quarter because everyone coming through your YouTube videos is buying that specific product? So you want to be clear on what your goals are. Why are you creating YouTube content? Some of you just want a repository for content. You just want a place where you can send people when they ask you commonly asked questions, and this is just a place to house those responses. Whatever the reason is, be intentional about why it is you are on YouTube. Next, I like my clients to get clear on where they're going to be publishing their content. Obviously, today we're talking about YouTube, but I want you to be clear on the fact that you can't have all your eggs in the YouTube basket. This is a whole ecosystem. And while your primary focus is going to be YouTube, I want you to think in the back of your mind that you need to repurpose the long form content you're creating here on YouTube on other platforms. You can start with vertical content on YouTube Shorts, but also repurpose to TikTok and Reels because they have similar formats. You can also find ways to turn your video content into blog posts and embed your videos into that blog post on your website and get the search traffic that way. There are a lot of different ways you can repurpose the content you're spending a lot of time creating onto different platforms so that it also then in turn drives traffic to YouTube, especially when you're new. So if you have an existing Instagram audience, you certainly want to be sharing clips of your YouTube video there so that people get used to you being on YouTube as well. So think about, where are you going to have a presence besides YouTube? And then here's a bonus that I'd like to add onto the 5 W's. It doesn't start with a W, but it's how. How do you plan on creating this content? This is something people don't tend to think about. There are a lot of steps that go into creating a YouTube video, and you need to know for yourself how are you going to harness and gather those resources so that you can be consistent on YouTube? Are you comfortable sitting in front of a camera and filming? Do you have a camera? Are you comfortable with graphics? Are you going to be able to create your thumbnail? It's going to be extremely important that you get a handle on the thumbnail. I'll explain more why later, but do you know how you're going to be able to do this all on a consistent basis? Do you have a friend? Do you plan on outsourcing this on Fiverr? Is there a virtual assistant that you're going to be working with who can help you implement all of this? Think through that as you are starting out your YouTube journey so you know that you can keep it up. You don't want to be one of those people who makes this big bang announcement. You have one video out there, you say, my channel is live, and then we don't hear from you for a month or two because you didn't realize that it takes so much work. So that's why I'm giving you the tea on this video. I need you to think about it before you embark on this YouTube journey. All right, so here is the next milestone in your YouTube roadmap. I want you to start creating videos. Earlier, I said I didn't want you to just do it, right? But at this point in time, you've put in a lot of thought. You're clear on who you're creating content for and everything else we talked about. So I want you to start creating videos around the problems that you identified. What are the problems people are going to be searching for answers to? And I want you, as I said, to position yourself to be found by those individuals, because when you're new on the YouTube platform, the algorithm doesn't know who you are. The algorithm is not sure what kinds of people it should be recommending your video to. So the way you help your algorithm identify you and pair you up is by creating content that is searchable. It's by creating content that is the answer to commonly asked questions by your audience. And if you do everything we're going to discuss correctly, they will click on your video, they will watch all of your video, and YouTube will know, oh, I need to go out and look for more people like so-and-so who just clicked on the video. And this helps to get the ball rolling. But for your first 10 to 20 videos, I want you to focus on simply answering questions directly, no fluff. Don't worry about how great the video looks. Don't worry about equipment. Don't worry about anything. Just grab your phone, just shoot the video, and make sure that you are giving as much value as possible. Make sure that when people click on your video, you're giving them the answer right away, straight, no chasers. You want to make sure that you become known as someone who has the right answers for them. So this is what trips people up. They're looking at all the videos out there of professionals who've done this for years and years and have millions of followers. They've had so much practice and you're trying to be like them. When what you need to be focused on is simply delivering the answers to questions that you have expertise in. So don't choose to build a YouTube channel around something that you're a novice at or around something that you're very uncomfortable speaking to. Because if you are an expert on the topic you are sharing, it takes a little bit of the jitters out of the equation because you're comfortable simply speaking to the camera. So all you need to worry about is grabbing your phone, making sure that there is light on your face and not behind you so I can see you clearly and I can hear you clearly. And oftentimes the mic that comes with your phone, if you're close enough to your phone, is going to be extremely clear. So start there and make sure you're delivering value. Put yourself out there, and chances are, to be honest, not a lot of people are going to come across your initial videos. The point here is to get in the habit of doing the work, posting the videos, get comfortable delivering the content, and then you can find ways to improve on them. And we will talk about how you can start to do that over the next few milestones in this roadmap. But the next milestone to consider is your equipment. As I said, don't let equipment get in your way, because this is what happens. In addition to watching all these videos on how to launch a YouTube channel, people are going down the rabbit hole of the best camera to use, the best lighting, the best setup, and all of these things. And what you don't see is it's yet another hurdle or a roadblock to you getting started. So as I said, just use your phone, but when you have finally shown that you can stay consistent with your YouTube channel, that you are showing improvement, that you are starting to get momentum, then you can start to incorporate different pieces of upgraded equipment. See it as an investment in your progress. See it as a reward for a job well done. So as you start to improve what you're doing, you can think about getting an upgraded microphone or an upgraded camera. And I would recommend you only add those one at a time, because sometimes the technology can be finicky, can be difficult to master. And you don't want technology to stand in the way of you getting your content out there. So get one piece of technology at a time. Figure it out, master it, incorporate it. And once you get into the groove of using your new microphone, for example, then you can add a new camera. Then you can add new lights. But bottom line is, you do not need it. Okay, so moving along our roadmap, the next milestone is going to be to tighten up the first 30 seconds of your video. What I see a lot of new YouTubers doing, simply because they're emulating the wrong kind of videos, is they're starting their video by saying, "Hi, my name is, this channel is about, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back, welcome." And instead of getting straight to the point in that first 30-second window, they are immediately losing people because they saw your title, they were intrigued by your thumbnail, they clicked on, and you are not giving them the goods. So they're not sure, is she ever going to get to the point? Is this clickbait? Does she know what she's talking about? And I don't really know who you are. We don't have a relationship like this, so I don't have a reason to stick around, and they click off your video. And that hurts you. I will explain why. So when you are finally comfortable with getting some videos out, start to figure out how you can, yes, introduce your concept, but get straight to the point of delivering value, so people know that, okay, this person absolutely knows what they're talking about, and they will stay all the way through. But tighten up the first 30 seconds. It's called hooking people. And you do that by sharing something surprising, something exciting that they will look forward to seeing all the way through. Don't save the best for last, because some people may not make it to the last point in your video or the last portion of your video. Front load your video with value so people will stay all the way through. And you do that by tightening up your first 30 seconds so that you can bring people along for the full course of the video that you spend so much time working on. The next milestone is for you to recognize that thumbnails and titles matter. They matter a lot. And one of the mistakes I see a lot of new YouTubers making is leaving their thumbnails and their titles to the last second. You only remember to do anything about them because as you are uploading your video, it says title, what do you want it to be? And then it says, oh, here are some auto-generated thumbnails. Do you want to upload one of your own? And you think, oh, I don't have one. So you're trying to grab a freeze frame from whatever YouTube generates, and that is not going to help people actually click on your videos, right? So this is the gateway to building a successful channel, is getting your thumbnail and your title right. So I want you to start doing some research on what seems to be working in your niche. What are other creators in your space doing when it comes to their title structure, when it comes to the thumbnails, not necessarily the content of their videos, but what seems to be working for them. And this is how you figure it out. I've shared the tool vidIQ on this channel before. They have a trending feature, and you can go onto your competitors or your peers' channels and use the trending button to see which recent videos. So I would say a video in the last 3 to 6 months is trending for them, and get inspiration from that. Learn from them. Don't replicate it. Don't do exactly the same thing they have done, but find some keys. Is it that they used large fonts? Is it that they used the color red? What is it that they did that was capturing people's attention? The other tools I would recommend you use, one of them is called creatorhooks.com. It is a free newsletter. I believe it's released either weekly or monthly, but they scour YouTube for different videos that seem to be doing extremely well, and they break down what it is about the titles that work so well. Is it that the titles had a little bit of a negative slant? Is it that the titles created suspense? Whatever it is, they help you identify what works so that you can replicate it in your own space. So for example, if you are a beauty YouTuber, they may show you something that a cars creator in the car or gaming space did that seemed to work for them, and you can try it in your space. So that's creatorhooks.com. Also, I would encourage you to start studying the way the Wall Street Journal and BuzzFeed tends to create their headlines. Their headlines sometimes are clickbaity, but they deliver on them. That's the difference. Not only do they have suspenseful headlines, but they have headlines that make you feel like, oh my goodness, I need to see what's in it. And if you don't pay for the Wall Street Journal, their headlines make you feel like, okay, I got to subscribe to the newspaper so I can see what that article is about. So get good at stopping people's scrolls when it comes to writing your titles and creating your thumbnails, because it's a non-starter if you don't get those two things right. All right, so at this point in your YouTube journey on our roadmap, you've already figured out how to create the content side of things. Now, on this side of our journey is about the growth. And I love the saying, what gets measured gets improved. So if you want to improve your channel, improve your content, you need to take a look at the analytics. And YouTube has an amazing creators hub that allows you to see everything about your videos. So here are 3 data points that I would encourage you to get familiar with. The first one is click-through rate, and you'll see it abbreviated as CTR. Means that if YouTube shows your video to 100 people, what percentage of those 100 people are going to click on your video? I tend to aim for 5%. I have videos with a higher click-through rate than that, and I have videos with a lower click-through rate than that. But when you see how people are responding to your thumbnail, you can then make the adjustment. The next data point you should pay close attention to is the view duration of your video. So if you have a 10-minute video out there, are people watching 1 minute? Are they watching 5 minutes? Are they watching 8 minutes and 30 seconds? What is the view duration? And even more granular than that, YouTube will tell you how many people or what percentage of people are making it through the first 30 seconds of your video. And as I mentioned, if people make it through the first 30 seconds of your video, they're more likely to make it through most of your video. And your goal is to get people to not only stay through your whole video, but also then to watch the next video and the next video you have available on your channel. And the algorithm on YouTube will reward you for keeping people on the platform. And then the next data point I like to focus on is how many views a particular video is getting. Not necessarily in the long run, although that is important. I like to see how many views a video is getting in the first 24 to 48 hours, simply because in the first 24 to 48 hours, YouTube will show your video to people who are either subscribed to your channel or have already interacted with the channel in some way. And based on their response, then they will start to show your video to more people. So if the people who have already subscribed to my channel aren't clicking on it, there's something up with either the title or the thumbnail, and I will tweak it within the first 48 hours to see how it's doing. And the great thing about YouTube's analytics is that it will tell you how your video is performing versus your last 10 videos. So within the first 24 hours, how is this new video ranking against the last video or the last 2 videos that you put out? Is it doing better, worse, or about the same? And then that lets you know whether or not you need to tweak something. But I will say I have had videos that haven't performed well in the first 90 days, and then all of a sudden it just shoots up. So sometimes it's entirely out of your control, but it's just important that you do your best to make sure that everything that's within your control has been taken care of. All right, so this next milestone is one that is difficult to master no matter what platform you're on. But I would say on YouTube specifically, given how much potential there is for you to drive traffic to your business, to whatever it is that you're selling, it's important that you get good at pitching your services, pitching your products on your videos. Now, it could be that you can start by inviting people to simply get on your email list and have a link in your description box for people to get on your email list. It could be that you are someone who does product reviews and you can invite people to click on the affiliate link that you have in your description box. It could be that you sell a course or have another service and you want people to not only get value from your free content, but invite them to come work with you to buy your course so they could get even more value. Listen, creating YouTube videos is expensive, right? It takes a lot of time. And depending on how big a team you have, you're probably paying people to help you produce these videos. So you want to be bold in asking people to partner with you, to sponsor your efforts so that you can continue to give them value. But of course, you want to have front loaded your channel with value so people understand that, yes, this is someone that I should be supporting monetarily. So this is one of the ways I would approach it. So for any of you who are business owners and see the value in having a YouTube channel, but are feeling overwhelmed already by how much work it's going to take because you have other work to do to run your business, I want to invite you to apply to work with me to not only give you the strategy that you need to launch your channel, but to give you ongoing support with the ideas for videos on a monthly basis, with scripting your videos. And then my team will not only upload the video and give you the right title and thumbnails, but every single month we will sit down and look over your data and I will interpret it for you. So all you have to do is film your videos, hand it over, and we'll take care of the rest. For those of you who feel like you're not going to need the full management side of things, you can still work with me on a monthly basis to create your video list for you so you don't have to come up with a list of video ideas, and we will still have a data strategy session at the end of every single month. So if you would like to work with me on your YouTube strategy or on the ongoing management of your YouTube channel, the link to apply to work with me is in the description box. So you got to get comfortable doing things like that because at the end of the day, this is a component of your marketing strategy as a business owner, or if you're a creator, this is how you are going to make money outside of AdSense. I know a lot of people are focused on getting the first 1,000 subscribers or the first 4,000 public watch hours, which is the monetization requirement at the time I'm filming this video, but you should not put all of your earning eggs in one basket. Not only can you benefit from AdSense money, but you can also benefit from selling your own products and services through YouTube. So get good at doing that if you are going to be on YouTube. So next in the roadmap, once you have done everything that we have journeyed through today, you want to set yourself up for success. And you do that by streamlining your processes. I created this video on how I streamline my YouTube workflow using ClickUp. So you're welcome to take a look at that and download the free ClickUp template I have in that video. There are multiple ways you can organize yourself, but the point here is you want to create repeatable processes that make it easy for you to sit down and record your YouTube video because you know the next step and the next step and the next step by heart. You're not having to recreate how you film or recreate where you film or recreate how you create thumbnails or the tools you're using every single time. You want to stay consistent so you're not experiencing decision-making fatigue every single time you have to create a video. So if you have a portion of your home where you can leave your equipment set up, that's amazing because all you have to do is sit down, push the record button, and you record. Make it easy on yourself to create content by putting in place processes and procedures that are repeatable that you can use every time. Not only to help you now, but to help you with the next milestone in the roadmap, which is to outsource. As a business owner, as someone who has multiple coals in the fire, if you're trying to build a YouTube channel as a side hustle to your 9-to-5, you already have a lot on your plate. So it's going to be very important that, especially once you start to get your AdSense revenue, that you reinvest that into hiring an editor, into hiring a graphics designer on Fiverr, for example, where for as little as $5, someone will create YouTube thumbnails for you. And this takes some of the admin and the thought out of the process for you so that this whole YouTube journey gets easier and easier as you grow. Now, I have this later on in the roadmap because it's important that you understand what it takes to create a good YouTube video so you understand what it is that needs to be outsourced. But I would say it's up to you to determine when you are ready to outsource. But oftentimes, $50 to $150 per video is manageable for you, depending on how much revenue you're generating from your business. So keep that in mind as you are going along this YouTube journey, that in order to improve, which is the next milestone in our roadmap, you need to offload the administrative tasks off of your plate so that you are able to improve. This next milestone is to get 1% better with every single video you are producing. I want you to keep your ear to the streets. I want you to listen to your comments and look at your audience's behavior. How are they responding to your content over time? And based on what they are saying or not saying to you, based on what your industry is doing, one of the examples I've seen lately is because we are inundated with so much short form vertical video, people are used to getting the payoff of a video in 60 seconds or less. So you need to find ways to have payoffs along the way of your 10 to 20 minute YouTube video. You'll see people are putting a lot of B-roll in their video because they want to keep people interested. They want to keep up the visual interest. They want to keep up the pace. So you'll see a lot of words popping out at you as you're watching YouTube videos because creators are having to adjust to their audience behavior, and their audience wants to be entertained even if they're watching educational videos. So you want to be mindful of what's going on. You want to be mindful of what the industry trends are and keep up with it so that you are not left in the 80s while everyone else is moving into 2023. You want to make sure that you are aware of what the trends are. You are aware of what's working in your industry. Always be a student of your craft. Always be learning. Always be reading about what's going on in not only your space, but other spaces to see what you can borrow from their disciplines to enhance your channel and to improve the experience for your audience. It's going to be important that you continue to improve as you go along this journey of building a YouTube channel. So if you're pumped about launching your own YouTube channel, but you're still hesitant about showing your face, I did create this video that has some suggestions for how to build a successful YouTube channel without having to show your face. And hopefully it gets you through the hump of starting your channel. And then later on, you can get comfortable with doing that. If you do decide to launch your YouTube channel, I would love for you to come back and share the link to your first YouTube video in the comments so we can all go watch it and cheer you on for taking that very first step that a lot of people talk and wish about but never do. So good luck in your YouTube launch journey. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you right back here next week for another video. Thanks. Bye.